Hi everyone, Mr. E here, Chief Nerd Officer at Retro and Rare Unpacked. Last night, something absolutely magical happened to me. Something that I didn't quite deserve, but something that I'm eternally thankful for. While hosting a typical TikTok live session centered on old childhood memories and retro toys and collectibles, legendary voice actor Rob Paulsen spontaneously called into my live. You all might remember Rob from being the voice of Pinky from Pinky and the Brain, Yakko Warner from The Animaniacs, and of course Raphael from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. Not to mention countless other animated characters that he has voiced over the course of his nearly 5-decade-long career. He gifted me and several dozen of my friends 12 of the most magical minutes of my life. The following is a video documentation of the magic that transpired yesterday evening. I hope you enjoy it. And Mr. Paulsen, thank you from the bottom of my heart for gifting me your voice in my youth, and thank you for once again gifting me your voice yesterday evening. I will cherish both gifts for as long as I live. God bless you. Enjoy.
Great. Am I here?
Mr. Paulsen, it's such an honor to meet you, sir.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. Yes,
Oh
sir.
my goodness. Thank you so very much. May I just tell you and your lovely viewers, I truly cannot tell you what your collective kindness means to people like me. The best part of my job now, with all this remarkable technology, is something like this, that I can be perusing on a Thursday afternoon, come across a delightful young man talking about all this great stuff, and I am utterly stunned every time I learn the extent to which these characters connect with people. It is so much bigger than ratings, with all due respect, merchandise, or my paycheck. I truly am utterly humbled to see how all this wonderful stuff affects you folks. Thank you so very much.
Rob, firstly, it's an honor to be having this conversation with you. I meant it earlier when I said that
I know you did. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. And I think I speak for all 39 individuals in this room when I tell you that you were the voice of our childhood. And I can't imagine how it must feel for you. But clearly you just met me, but I met you 40 years ago.
Bless your heart. Well, let me tell you this. I'm 70. I just turned 70. I've been in Hollywood for 48 years. This business, although my ostensible reason for coming here was what it was for most people: music, TV, movies. But what often happens, and it happened to me, is we put ourselves in a position to get lucky. And my timing was good. My agent said, "You ever thought about doing animation?" I said, "Well, of course." But in those days, it was pretty much relegated as Saturday morning. But boy, am I glad that I chose this route, because now I have the privilege of impossibly wonderful moments that you are gifting me with right now. I literally, clearly have no trouble talking, but your sweet reaction, my friend, first of all, it's not unusual. And what I'm learning is, oh, no, 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 no. When people get a little misty or tearful, those characters are as important as your grandma's cooking, your mother's perfume, whatever it is. And we come home, my friends and I come home from these Comic-Cons, which are fortunately so ubiquitous. I mean, they're springing up like this on a 12-year-old, man. And it's an absolute blast. But no one at my age has a job in which they return from meeting delightful people like you and your listeners, and coming home exhausted from saying thank you. My goodness gracious. None of us in this wonderful gig could ever possibly have imagined how, remember folks, I'm the one getting this lovely feedback from our host and all of you, but I don't draw them and I don't write them. But all I have to do is say, hello, nurse. Or if I say, hey, Dad, nerve. Or if I say, turtle power. Or if I say, stay away from Jimmy's mom, asshole. All it does is is do that. And I think the only person who's laughing harder is me. So thank you, sir.
Rob, it's me that owes you the thanks. I'm trying my best to be as articulate as possible because I'm representing the voices of not only 41 individuals in
You're
this room,
doing beautifully.
but 41 million people probably around the world.
Just beautifully.
Rob, just two things you need to know about me. One, Yakko's World Song, I still share it with my elderly father, and it still brings a smile to his face to this very day.
Isn't that beautiful?
Two, when I was a kid, I was terrified of the dark. And the only thing that put me to sleep was singing the Animaniacs theme song.
Oh my God.
You've been such an instrumental part of my childhood. And I literally just went on live today, gonna nerd out in my toy room, and you popped in, and this is one of the magical moments in my life. And I just want to say thank you very much.
Well, you are impossibly welcome, my friend. And isn't it wonderful that we have these sort of nuclear powered serendipitous moments that never in a million years would have happened a few years ago were it not for this technology. And I just love things like this. It is, oh, you're so welcome, Heather's Feathers 55. It truly, I can't say it enough. I've been rich and I've been poor. Rich is way better. However, this exchange with you and your fans is nothing short of miraculous. And the day that I don't almost shiver with excitement when they happen is the day that I should check out. This is precisely what anyone who sort of endeavors to make their mark in the entertainment business, this is what anyone would live for. And I don't care if it's you and me and 61 others, or you and me and a million others. It is never not overwhelming. So thank you so very much. And your beautiful reaction is everything, because it happens more often than one would suspect. And virtually every time, people say, oh my God, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm getting so misty. I know precisely why, because we all have examples that you just so kindly shared with all of us about your sweet dad and how this affected you as a child. And I know now why that is, because years ago, this is a wonderful story. I did a Jetsons movie at Hanna-Barbera in which I played Judy's boyfriend. Not a particularly good movie, but anytime you get to work on the Jetsons, it's pretty cool. And as you may or may not recall, Mel Blanc played George Jetson's boss, Mr. Spacely, Jetson, that kind of guy. And so I walked in to do some pickup lines, and I walked into the studio at Hanna-Barbera in the control room, and the director in those days was a gentleman named Gordon Hunt, who was Helen Hunt's father, and a remarkable coach, director, just a delightful man who really helped me a lot. And I walked in and I said, oh my God. Oh, by the way, Mr. Blank was already in the recording studio waiting to do his pickups. And I said to Gordon, oh, geez, I'm a little early. Do you mind if I watch? And he said, oh, no, you're working with Mel. And I sort of took a deep breath, walked in, introduced myself, and said, Mr. Blank, like anyone with a pulse, I am so thrilled to meet you, just like you and you have no idea, ... So as I sat there, he was in his late 70s and he passed away at 81. So it turns out he was closer to the end. Very sharp, very cognizant of everything. And I said, Mr. Blank, before we get started, if it's not too much trouble, and he knew precisely what I wanted, took off his glasses, looked at me and said, yeah, what's up, Doc? And yes, that. I lost my mind. That's all it took, my friend.
I can't imagine.
It was not only precious, but earth shattering to me. And immediately I was transported back to my sitting with my brother and sisters and my mom and dad watching Looney Tunes in Livonia, Michigan, eating Cocoa Krispies and my, jammies. And so now, when I have the privilege, and that's precisely what it is, folks, I have worked very hard for the privilege of what you folks are giving me so freely. So now, while none of us would compare ourselves to Mr. Blank, when I say, Narf, you do that, and it is authentic, it's organic, and I cannot tell you how much it lights me up to my soul. So thank you for letting me ramble. You've given me a delightful gift that I will not forget. Thank you, sir.
Rob, thank you very, very much. I think you're the one that has gifted all 55 of us this evening. And I'm so humbled and honored. And
not
tonight
at all.
you made me the richest man in the world. So thank you very, very much, sir. As much as I'd love to keep you, I know how precious your time is. And I don't want to keep
that's
you.
okay. I gotta go meet with my parole officer. There's a lot of stuff you don't know about me. But I'll tell you what. Next time you bring like a Yakko pop to the Warner Brothers gate, and if you're not arrested when you get on the lot, I'll let you in the water tower. Just bring your own booze, okay?
Will do. God bless you, Rob. I don't know how to hang up, so I'm going to see if you could figure. I could never hang up with Rob.
I have plenty of hang-ups for both of us, and I will exercise one of them now. But all of you, thank you so very much for watching. And again, you will never know how impossibly wonderful your kindness means to all of us. And as I always tell people, laughter is the best medicine. You can't OD, and the refills are free. So thank you very much, folks. God bless you all, and good night, everybody.
God bless you, Rob. Take care.
All right, man. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.